What's up, speaker coach friends? In this video, we're back with another speaking tip, and that is how to overcome the money objection with your live videos, with your events, in your speaking conversations. So a lot of people, well, first of all, as coaches and speakers, we have the opportunity to help people overcome their objections, overcome and blast through limiting beliefs so that they can get the result that they desire. Now, why would you want, if you're not selling something to someone, you want to overcome the objection if you're wanting to sell something to them, then you want to overcome this money objection in your content and in your workshops and your webinars and things like that. But even if you're not selling something directly to them, you want to help them. This money objection, the helping them spend money on this thing is going to help them get the result, because whether they're losing weight, whether you're helping them with a business thing, whether you're helping them with a relationship thing, they're going to need to spend money on that thing in order to get the result, chances are. And so you're there to help them overcome the objections that they have with money so that they can say yes to themselves to spend money on this thing so that they can get the result that they desire. So before we get into the example of what you could say exactly and how you could do that in this video, I want to give you a little framework backup. We're going to back up and give you a framework that you can use to think about this. So I was listening to a sales guru one time, and he was talking about how the three main objections of time, money, and I have to talk to my spouse or partner or whatever, is there's actually a shadow reason behind these. And that sometimes it is they just need a logical work through of, hey, I don't know where the money's coming from, or hey, I don't know where my time's coming from. Can you give me a logical reason to find it? But most of the time there's a shadow reason. So the shadow reason for time, he's saying, is desire. If they don't have the desire to do the thing, then they don't have time to do it. And if you think about any time that someone has asked you to do something for them, or they've invited you to something, you're like, oh, I don't know if I have time, right? It's because you don't want to go, right? I'm sorry I was late. I didn't want to show up, right? So usually with time, you have to make sure that you've built the desire for the thing before. You want to make sure that there's plenty of desire built up for the thing. With money, it is an issue of trust. Do they trust that the product or service that you're offering, or even the tip that you're sharing in your live, is going to get them the result? And if it isn't, they're not going to spend money on it. Makes sense, right? So whenever we look at the time objection, I'm going to give you an example of how you could overcome, the money objection. I'm going to give you an example of how to overcome the money objection, but there's actually a pre-step that you want to take, and you want to make sure that you do during your presentation, or else this tactic at the end isn't going to work. So for example, if I show you how to save a bunch of time, but you have no desire to even do the thing in the first place, then it won't matter. Like, that is not going to overcome your objection, because you don't even have a desire to do the thing. If I find time on your calendar, but you don't actually want to show up for the party that I'm invited you to, then you're still going to say no. So same thing with money. We want to start and build a lot of trust in the product or service that you are offering them first, and then give them a practical way that they can justify spending or find the money to spend on the thing. Okay, to give you an example, I am hosting a workshop, or just hosted a workshop called how to build a community of super fans. I know what my workshop was called. How to build a community of super fans using network parties. And in the workshop and before the workshop, I'm going to let you know that workshop is going to help you build a consistent flow of clients coming into your community that are predictable, that love what you have, that you build trust with very quickly, and who are reaching out to you to ask for your help. Okay. And that's the system that I'm sharing. And so if I want to overcome the money objection, the first thing that I need to do is really help you build trust in the thing that I'm asking you to spend money on. Okay, so I'm building trust. And the way that I build trust is I share with you the process and help you really clearly see the step-by-step process and why that would work. So with the network parties, I'm going to share with you, okay, the way that you build a community is you want to set up a network party. And at that network party, you're not going to sell them anything. You're just going to focus on service, right? And the reason that you're going to do that is because the network party is a really easy ask. People will be coming in to the community very, very easily because you're just inviting them to a party. It's something fun. It's something easy. You're going to create that party in a way that really serves them, and you're going to communicate that with them so that they'll want to say yes. So your people who love to join communities and connect with other people, are going to come to that event. So you're going to get your people into that event with that party. It's a really easy ask. And for every 10 people I invite, 3 people say yes and come into the community. Okay, so I'm sharing with you the process. Hey, this is the process. This is the results of the process. You're going to want to serve them, because when you serve them, that builds trust with them and it builds a relationship with them. It gives you a time to connect with them and understand what they need. And by the end, guess what? They're really excited to work with you. They're asking you for help. So the third thing that you're going to do is just going to set up a really easy way for them to get your help. You're going to offer to help them. You're going to set up a call link or a booking page, and you're going to let them know that you have it and it's over here, and how to get it, right? And so whenever you do those 3 things, you're building a community of fans that are coming in consistently. They're feeling super served. They want to stay around and they want to tell their friends about it. And they have really easy access to you and what you do. So it begins, and there's a couple different ways that we do that, which we talk more about on the workshop, but then it fills your calendar full of potential clients who are excited to work with you, right? And so I'm building out, as I share that process, I'm telling you why you want each step of the process, and it's building trust in that process. Now that you understand the process that I'm teaching you, then I'm going to share with you the price. Typically, hey, guess what? I just hosted this workshop. It was $95. It includes 3 other workshops, which I'm not going to go into here, but it was $95. And that was the workshop. This is what we teach you on the workshop. We also gave you this handout that'll give you step-by-step how to launch your community using this network party method. And you can have all of that whenever you sign up right here. Okay. Now, once I've dropped the link and I tell them, hey, go to inspirespeakerschool.com/thrive2025. Even if you miss the workshop, you get instant access to the replays. They're going, okay. Now I've built the trust. Hopefully, if you're watching, I built the trust that this thing works, even though we're going really fast through this. Then the second thing I want to do is give you a practical, logical way or reason why you'd want to spend that kind of money. So the way that our brain works is we get emotionally attached to something first, and then we kind of want a logical reason to back it up so that later on down the road, whenever we go talk to our accountant or we talk to our spouse or we're talking to ourselves later, then we can justify, why did I spend my money on that thing? And so the next thing that you're going to want to do for your people is to help them understand the value. Is to give them a logical reason to spend money on it. And you can do it in a few different ways. The way that we're going to talk about right now is just building the value of the thing, maybe comparing it to something that they're already spending their money on. So in this case, I might compare it to how much money are you already spending on your virtual assistant? And I could compare it to that. Or I could compare it to, so you could either compare it to how much money they're already spending versus how much money they're going to save. You could also compare it to, hey, this is how much in the business space. Business people do this all the time, right? If you spend this much money, this is how much money you're going to make. Or if it's in another niche, if you spend this much money, this is how much money it's going to save you later. That works in every niche, right? So in this example, I might say, okay, if you spend $95 right now, and I'm going to walk you through this process on how to start your super fans in 35 days. By this time next month, you'll already have, it depends, at least 100 people, 100? 3 times, I have to do the math, right? Okay, you're gonna have at least 50 people. I have to do the math, but you're gonna have 3 people coming in every single day. So this time next month, you're gonna have over 50 people in your community, which means you have the opportunity to have conversations and book calls with every single one of those. If you book 5 of those and you sell 1 from those 5 conversations, you sell 1 person into your program, then you will have made back your $95. Even if your program's $100, you would have made that program back, right? But chances are you've got a $2,000 program or a $3,000 program or a $5,000 program. Is it worth $95 now so that you can get the process, so that you can start building your community of super fans and welcome in clients? Does it seem really likely that you're going to be able to welcome in 1 client out of 50 people who come in there and sell them your product? Is that worth it? Okay, so then I'm giving them the logic. Then you're like, okay, yes, it's worth $95 because if I could just sell 1 of my programs from the stuff that I implement from this workshop, then it will have paid for itself. So if that sounds good to you, click on the button, and that workshop's included in this Thrive 2025 workshop series, along with 3 other workshops. Just before we go, one other way that I really have used this in the past, because a lot of people are like, great, that works for you because you have a B2B product. So obviously that works on B2B products. It's so easy. They're going to make money off of it, so they're willing to spend the money. But it works the exact same in other niches. I used to teach and coach in the plant-based space and the food relationship space. And I charged someone paid me $10,000 to help them stop overeating. Okay. So I've had people pay me $10,000 to help them stop overeating. So the value is there. You just have to help people understand the value of what you have to offer. And so in those kind of niches, I would do the exact same thing, but instead of saying, hey, this is how much money you're likely to earn, example, I would give them an example. I would go harder on how much money are you going to save, right? If you don't take care of your health right now, I have a series of statistics I would run through with them. The average American spends 17 years disabled. The average American, 1 in 4 people gets heart disease. 1 in 4 people gets cancer. 1 in 10 people gets Alzheimer's. I would just go down my little list of statistics that I have, and I would say, it's not how, it's when. It's not if, it's when, excuse me. It's not if, it's when. What point, if you don't pay money now and take care of yourself now and your health now, you are going to pay for it later. And is it going to cost you more money now, or is it going to cost you more money later? How much money do you think it costs to be in a nursing home? How much money does it cost to have cancer? How much money does it cost to blah, blah, blah? And I might give another example of that. My friend has a $7,000 deductible on her insurance, and she has cancer, and they meet their deductible every January because she has cancer and other issues. Okay, so that's $7,000 every single January that she's spending because she has this issue. And if I had done my work and showed them how I'm going to help you overcome these issues, then the likelihood of you spending this large amount of money is very small. So do you want to invest now so you can save later? And then that works that way too. And I have a bunch of other examples, but examples like that really give them the logical reason to tell their brain to say, yes, this is worth it. This is me investing. This is worth investing right now because this is the result that it's going to get. And because I've taken the time in my conversation to really build in the trust that the process that I have works, then this logical objection handling that I do at the end is super simple and gets them to say yes. So if you'd like to come, so good luck on doing all of that. If you have any questions, actually comment down below. If you have any questions, if you're in a niche that I didn't explain here and you're like, hey, Michelle, how do I do that? How would I answer the time objection in this situation? How would I answer the money objection in this niche? I'd be happy to help you. You can comment down below. If you still want to come to our workshop series that's happening in January, you can click on inspirespeakerschool.com/Thrive 2025. Click on that button, join. You're going to get those 4 workshops, including mine that I just talked about, with this step-by-step guide to help you create your community of super fans so that you can be a super fan and amazing and thrive in 2025. We will see you next time. Have a great one.